Hi, I'm back. It's Jill from Copycat Crafts with a short video that I hope helps a few. Even if it only helps a few, it was worth making. I was questioned a few weeks ago when I was making the three girls. This here is Matilda, so she will be the one that we demonstrate this on, or at least show off what the question actually was. And the question was, when I do certain pages and I make, I'm not even sure if you'd call it collaging or just an array of things on a page. Collaging, I assume. That they had not seen someone do it quite in the technique, I guess, that I do. And that would be that I do not start gluing things down the second I find something I want to use. I stack it on top of each other. I sort of play around with the layout a little bit. So if a wind would come, it would blow it all away. I understand that. But I got tired of finding what I thought was the perfect piece of paper, writing, tag, ticket, gluing it down, only to find 10 seconds later I regretted gluing it down because I had a different idea, wanted to go in a different direction, glue it down to the left or the right, too high, too low, or wanted a brad. And now I couldn't put the brad on, or at least not the way I wanted to put the brad on. So before I glue anything down, I lay it out. So if I have like this journal, like on this page here, where I know the area, I have the journal in front of me, I can lay it down on the journal and get a feel. If I don't have a journal, if I just, which I've done, just want to make a few for future journals, you kind of know if you've made a few journals, give or take the size of your journal pages. Usually pretty close. Some people make strips of paper and sew little pieces of lace on it and then glue die cut flower on it, and it comes out beautiful. For whatever reason, I can't seem to get that process down, and yet I can do this. Right? Who knows? Right? Who knows? So I thought I'd start with a few different sizes just to show you. It doesn't, you can make these ahead of time, or you can wait. If you're actually working on a journal, you can put your journal down and do this directly on your journal, because you're not, at this point, you don't have glue, you're not doing anything. You're just working with, in a way, a collage without having it be glued together or down to anything. So I picked out a couple items. I really don't have a super plan. I'm sorry for the glare of my bags, but this is the professional way I store my things, in plastic bags, so that I can see through it and see what it is I'm looking for, or I even at times mark them so that if I know I'm looking for something, I can just look at the label. But generally I like being able to see through what I have, see through what I'm storing it in, so I can see if that's what I want to grab or not. But I digress. Moving along. I picked a few items of different sizes. I can mix, match, I can take one of these and actually make what I was talking about, where I can just start fiddling and kind of maneuvering things around, see where I want to go with things, get the layout I want. But you can also start with a bigger one if you know you make bigger journals. I don't know why that I cut on the line. It was supposed to, I guess, be crooked. I'm not sure, but wouldn't really matter for my application, because if I start gluing stuff down, I don't normally make them this big because I don't normally make huge journals. I usually make probably nothing bigger than 5.5 by 7, 5 by 7. That's my normal size. So something like this, unless I turned it sideways, would really actually be a tad large for my journals. But I'm used to making much smaller things and just whipping things together, seeing how I like it. And I did bring out a couple of my little bits and bobs, because in there lies the problem, or my regrets for something. I will glue all my stuff down on my page and then go, oh, I really wanted to use a brad and a tiny tag. And yeah, you can put them in afterwards, but then you're stuck with cutting the little feet off them and hoping they don't poke through a thin piece of paper when they could have been through paper and cardstock. Oh, who knew? Okay, so I also dug out one or two little pictures. That is normally what I would also add on something small. So what I do is you edge or stain whatever you're going to. I stain everything. I pre-stain it. Usually I edge because I like grunge. So I normally sit when I want to just relax. I cut out all my pieces and I edge them, which is why usually my hands are brown and stained. My nails are stained. It's really just from doing this, but it's what I find relaxing, actually. I think when I sit down to actually do a craft and then I have to edge, that's when I have to distressing. I think that stresses me more, because I really enjoy sitting and distressing and inking all my pieces ahead of time, putting them in bags, and then when I'm ready to use them, they're ready to go. The other thing I do like to do sometimes, but that is normally, is if I'm going to really rough up an edge for something, I usually do that last minute, because I never know when I want to not do that, and then I'm stuck with it. And also I'll sometimes just rip it a little, really make it grungy. Right now, that's really what I've been enjoying doing. So I would take, let's say this is going to be on my page, so I think that's more representative to the size I would normally be starting with. And I'm going to pull out a couple, try not to move in a spastic manner here. I have no plan, no nothing. I'm just going to pull out a few of these items so I have them in front of me. If I'm doing it here by myself, I let them in the containers because I'm not trying to show anyone anything. Just looking for my tweezers, so excuse how noisy it is, because I haven't really found a better solution than throwing everything. I want my tweezers in case I decide to use the super tiny things like some of these, because watching me try to pick them up is a real show. Alright, so I'll pull out some pieces I think I want to use. And I'm not too worried at first. I'm just playing, which is what you have to do. You kind of have to just start playing. I don't know, maybe it's not that it doesn't come naturally to me. I usually don't get a vision. I hear, others say, oh, they had a vision of this, that, and the other thing. I don't get that. Maybe it's because I'm not able to see things in my head, so I don't I don't get visions, but I do not get visions. So I have to see it in front of me in order to nay or yay it. And once I start setting things out, let's see, what do we want? Some of these, before I would have glued it down, I would definitely well, may or may not. Post doesn't seem to fit. Okay, maybe I'll use, I don't know, I'm kind of liking lately the mustard color, but I also like to do things or make things that I would call maybe interactive. So I could put it somewhere and then with a brad and still have it so it swings. I do like to do that. I love to do that with pictures, or glue a picture down and then have something larger over it that swings to show a picture underneath when they want to see it. Like doing that. So we'll just play a little bit and see what we have. One of the other reasons that I actually enjoy doing it this way is because once I do decide that's it, that's how I'm gluing it, then I have one large piece all glued together, ready to go. Then when I glue it on my pocket, in my journal, let's say this is my journal page, let's say this is all glued together, ready to go. So I want to glue it down. I can decide at that point if when I glue it down, if I want to turn it into a pocket or a tuck spot, which is kind of how I guess it sort of started, is once I glue it down piece by piece, at the end of it, I look at it and go, oh, I could have made that a tuck spot or a cool pocket, where if I just glue it like that, then I can. So I usually start from, obviously, top to bottom. You may hear my cat Dolly, who seems to know when I start making a video. She seems to know, and she, for whatever reason, starts to decide she wants to make a debut or something. She starts scratching at the door and making her little twirling sounds. She twirls. Normally, the only reason I don't allow them in here is not because I don't enjoy their company and love them dearly. It is because once they come in, I totally get distracted. They don't leave me alone. I don't leave them alone. So I've decided, do I want to put that there? I think I do. So this is my mock page. Put it up a little bit. I want to see the word collect. I think I do want to see the word collect, so I think I do. I come back and I just make sure I stick whatever I need to stick down. I may go over, I may decide not to, but I do kind of like that. I don't think I like that. Whoops, sorry. Forget I have a glass cutting board right under this protective board. I actually got the glass, it's a glass cutting board for in a kitchen for baking. So it still has the inch squares on it, but it's not a craft glass, it's just for a kitchen. I got it on clearance. Okay, so now I have my piece. I can continue to add onto it, not that. I can continue to add, or I can call it a day. I love these, the tinier the better. I just love these little things. Just love them. I think, yep, I think that's gonna happen. So just smear that on there a little. Oop. Now I will say, for any beginners out there, they probably said it a million times, this is Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1 that I put in this bottle. Dries clear, but it does dry shiny. I absolutely love this. It glues like everything. Everything. My hair, my paper, everything. But it does dry shiny, and I'm an overgluer. I abuse, so I need a glue eraser, which I use extremely hard. You can get these at Hobby Lobby or the Dollar Tree. Mine are from the Dollar Tree. I find they work just as good as the Hobby Lobby one. And my other favorite glue is, of course, Art Glitter glue, and it dries clear, not as shiny, but it doesn't allow me scroogey move time. This one does, because it's kind of a gel, and you get a little bit of movement even after you lay it down. This one, no. So I can't live without either of them, but these are my two favorite. And that's mainly the difference, is this one grabs really quick and no extra moving time. This one is a gel. You can move things a little bit, shift them to the left, to the right, but it does dry shiny. Okay, so now that doesn't go with that. So now, I don't know, I'm kind of thinking I'm happy with that. And I can now decide to either totally glue it down flat or just glue the edge and have it be a tuck, or kind of glue it all the edge and have it be a skinny pocket or a small tuck. So it's kind of a 2-for-1, because you can collage, you can decorate a paper, and if you wanted to add something under it, like let's take this, let's say that's pretty big, but let's say we wanted a brad. What else could we put under here? It's big enough to put under there. Too big. Let's see what we're looking for here. Let's do a long or a slightly wider. trying to see which. Okay, so if I did that, and then this, let's say I wanted to decorate that. So I'm gonna take, this is when I would take my little brad, oh, I might need a bigger brad, but this is when I'd put my little brad in. Okay, kind of swings, it's a little loose, don't mind that. If I want it a little tighter, I just put the brad down about where I want it and press a little bit there. Now I can totally glue this on here, and that will still swing, but my stuff when I use this will not get stuck on it. So I'm going to see if there's anything else I want under here. I don't know if that matches, but let's do, not really. Let's see, what else do I have? A longer piece. Maybe I'll do that and fold it over. Okay. Making sure I have it, nothing as aggravating as gluing it on right where you want it and then realizing it's upside down. And then fold it over. Yep. No rules here, girls. No rules. We're just living the dream. Being able to play, sort of. Alright, let's see what else. Oh, this was cool. That will be glued down, so I don't really want to. Maybe I'll put it. I hate covering numbers, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. And we'll fold this one over as well. I mean, actually, we wouldn't have had to, but well, okay. I'll wait. We can fold that over whenever, if we decide to. Okay, so stick our little bird down. Put our little taggy where we want it. Do we want another little? Okay, so go that way, right? Yeah, I think I could do that right there. Oh, yes. Yeah, I kind of like it sticking up. I really kind of am into just let it stick over a tiny bit, just a tiny bit, because we don't want it too weak. Like that. Yes, Dolly. Okay. So I think now I can just glue. I won't put any glue on this, just on here. And I think I'll just turn that and hold it. Oh, Dolly gets any better at working that doorknob, she'll be able to let herself in. As a matter of fact, I had to change all the doorknobs in my house because I had a cat, who could open all my doors, because all my door knobs were not round knobs. They were the long like handle that you just grab and pull down, and she would open every door. So I had to change. Okay, so as you see, I think I'm going to glue it like that. And I'm only going to glue this, and I'm not taking the glue. I can glue at the end if I need to, otherwise I'm just going to glue here. I'm not sure, I think I'm going to have it sticking out a little bit, so okay. So we're going to put this down below there, about like that. Oh my goodness, Dolly. You're just gonna have to wait a minute. Okay, just tapping the glue off the back. Then I can decide if I want to fold that in or leave it out. For now, I'm just gonna leave it out because I already folded one in. So there's another one. Now when I glue this down, I can glue it down completely. It doesn't have to be anything except pretty. Or I can just glue down two sides and make it big giant tuck. I don't have any brad in the back to catch, so I don't have to tape anything and then worry about the tape starting to curl. So I can glue it on three sides and turn it into a pocket from the top. I can glue it on three sides and make it a pocket from the side, or I could glue it over here and make it a pocket from this side. Like that. That is what I enjoy doing. That way I have a couple ready. I actually do have one of my bags. I won't get them out and blind everyone, but one of my bags does have a few pre-made. I do like to hold off and make them when I make a journal, because that way I really get to make it fit the theme and the feel of the journal. But if you're just bored and you have extra bits and bobs and pieces, this is a fun way to use them up. Get you to think out of the box a little bit. Come up with something cute or pretty that you can use later. So I hope you find that helpful. If so, please like the video. Leave a comment below on if this is a thing you already do, or if this was helpful. Okay, well, happy crafting and hugs.